Hola YouTube, bienvenidos al canal. Ojalá, ¿cómo están? Ojalá que estén haciendo, bueno, ojalá que les vaya bien. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Hope you guys are having a fantastic, evening. Guys, we have crates back in the channel. They've been gone for a hot minute because they've been focusing on school. Drop some Doritos for everyone taking exams and about to graduate and all of that beautiful stuff because you guys deserve all the luck in the world and you guys deserve to pass your exams with these. And if you're graduating, hey, congratulations, you fucking did it. Dude, you worked your ass off and you're graduating. Congrats. I appreciate all of you guys for doing what you do. And for those of you guys that are even just going up a level, associates, bachelors, maybe you're going from a junior to a sophomore, or junior to sophomore, junior to a senior, or a freshman to a sophomore. Congrats on that. That's still a big transition. Anyways, with that being said and done, ladies and gentlemen, are you guys ready for this sadness of a storm that's about to hit us? Oh boy. All right, let me crack my neck. Let's get ready. Let's go. It's time for sad. AT!
音楽準備室に来れば会えると思ったんだけど連絡の取りようがないよ。電話番号もメアドも知らない。僕は君のこと何も知らないんだな。
Bruh.
カオちゃんが倒れて入院したって。
That's right, this is where we left off. It's been a hot minute, guys. Sorry. Don't do this to me. Don't fucking do this to me. We just gotta. Don't do this to me. No.
よ、どうだった？昨日連絡しようと思ったんだけど、ちょっと無理っぽくて辞退してもらえたらいいかなって。行けなくてごめんね。
I want to point something out to you guys. Listen to this. Do you guys hear it? Also, hi Rokun, I hope you're doing well. Do you guys hear? Do you guys hear it or not? Listen to this. We're doing it even clearer again. I am fucking freaking out right now. In case you guys don't hear, you guys don't understand. Ed, why are you freaking out, dude? Want you just to listen to this imagery, right? Listen to one thing in particular. What stands out to you? Listen to the imagery exactly. Fuck me. No, like for example, listening to this scene. For me, it's sounding as though like what some cultures do when they're ready to bury their dead, right? It's not just the breathing, but just the bells of sometimes some cultures, right? We tend to have ceremonial dances or ceremonial moments for those that are about to pass on or those that have passed on. And sometimes we use bells, right? Including like wrapping a bell around our feet when we dance, or literally hitting the bells on, like, could be like a sort of like a sleigh bell thing. And it's so powerful the way that they're using this. She's in the hospital, and then the first thing that we hear, along with the music, is the sound of the bells, like a ceremonial little jingle of bells. Wait for it. This terrifies me. this really like down to like the core of my soul is terrifying. Yeah. I'm glad. I hope you guys got to hear that. I hope it was loud enough for you guys to hear it. Where it, yeah, the trauma multiplies, and it's like even in the sounds of silence in music. And I think this is why I love music, because sometimes in the nothingness, where things are supposed to be exemplified, there is life. In the nothingness, the tension that you can derive from it means everything. And even through this progression that we're hearing here, right? My soul is gone after that last on, dude. That one hurt. For example, what is he looking at? Is it his mom, or is it the person that impacted him the most? And in a big aspect through that, I'll ask you guys this: what role is Kaori playing in his life? Is Kaori the one that's fixing him from the trauma that his mother caused, or is she just replacing the image that his mom had left since he already said goodbye to her? Is she becoming the hero, the healer for him? Is she the sage? If we were to talk about the unified uncollective consciousness that is there, right? Little A, little B, like what role is she playing in his life? Is she being literally repeating the circle of trauma that we go through, i.e., in order for him to fully heal, he must not have a full attachment onto her. I don't think this show is gonna end with him, like him and her being together happily ever after. In fact, I think this show might end pretty sad, as we went on in the opening analysis here. Man, the more that we get into this show, the more that like psychologically I'm viewing things like this, and I'm like, some of the cognitive distortions that come through are rough.
ちょっと無理っぽくて辞退してもらえたらいいかなって行けなくてごめんね
Like, for example, if you were dying, fuck, I can't believe I'm getting into this. My heart's like breaking. If you were dying, if you're about to pass away, what legacy would you like to leave behind? To your friends, to your loved ones. Would you tell people, or would you not? Would you try and hold it to yourself? Hold it dear for as long as you can. Who would you open up to? What would you say? How would you want people to remember you by? Do you want people to remember your messy history? The times that you messed up and you were cringy and embarrassing? The times that you cried over an ex that like left you or wasn't really paying attention to you? The times where, you couldn't necessarily be social even though everyone was in a social gathering? Or do you want them to recognize those aspects as well as the good aspects? The times where you helped out your friends even when they were in a low place? The times where you extended your hand even when others weren't necessarily, they took it for granted? How do you want to be remembered? And I think this is a huge aspect in this whole show in its entirety. We are limited by the constraints of our body, and we are limited by time. But my thing with terror management, I hate to put it this way, is that or terror management theory in general is terror management theory in general is what influences our deaths. But unless you've worked with individuals who are dying at end of life, and actually see not just the theoretical aspects but the individualistic aspects as to how culture, how individuals come into play, man, dude, everything changes. Like, for example, I had a guy who was really really popular in when he was younger. He had a lot of friends, he had like a whole thing, and at the very end, the only thing he wanted to say, that he like, he was laying there and he's like, I just want to see my mom again. He's like, I just want my mom to remember me as the kid who tried to do everything for her. Because he lost it all. when he got sick, and he was there, and we were checking in and we were doing our sessions and whatnot. The friends that he thought he had garnered because of his popularity, because of the money that he had or whatnot, never showed up. The kids that he had showed up maybe once a month and then stopped showing up altogether. He took a quick dive from being healthy, from being okayish, to just giving up, to just saying this is it. His partner slowly but surely started fading away into the background until the only people that would visit him were the people that were taking care of him, or the psychologist and case caregivers that would appear once every week. And when you hear the only thing I want is like for my mom to know me as like, that I tried everything I possibly could and that I love her, and all of these things are like, it hurts, man. It hurts on a fundamental level to go through like end of life therapy with people, to be there, to actually hold their hands and, even talk about it, like, how do you feel? What's going on? Are you okay with this? What are the next steps you're gonna go through? And a family's there, it's like a whole wide experience. But when it's just one person and they're holding on and they're saying, "Hey, I'm scared," even as they're leaving, it's an experience I don't think a lot of people ever get to experience. It's also something that leaves a really, really profound impact on you as an individual. Anyway, sorry guys, I don't mean to go that deep, but I'm just saying when it comes to stuff like that, it really makes you think, and it's always made me think, even through my years of practice and stuff. Like, yeah, yeah, through my years of practice, it's always made me think, what do I want to leave behind? And not just leave behind, but how will I feel fulfilled? Like, at the end of the day, all the videos that I made are out there, and if it helps someone, absolutely wonderful. And for me, that I've already done my job. Like, if something were to happen to me, for example, if my condition were to get worse, or it become active, or whatever, and I were to pass away, I think I've done my job, and I am content. I have a loving family. I'm pretty sure I'll live on in your guys' memories. All of these things, right? And like my videos are still out there for those people that are learning psychology, and hopefully it's not too outdated. Like, people are still able to learn, and pick up stuff, and I'm okay with that, and I'm happy with that. But for you guys, genuinely, for those of you in chat, what do you want to be remembered by? Who do you want to tell? Who are you comfortable telling, and who are you not? Anyway, sorry guys, don't mean to go so deep. I'll go with, learn, especially if your grandparents are still here, learn your recipes, learn their stories, and let's listen to the intro as we all cry together, please. Oh, that's right, the intro changed. I'm done. Okay, I do have an update for you guys, because the song just reminded me of something. Especially the opening when he was playing it. There's a song that's really ingrained in my memory because it was a piece of music that was really impactful during a period of time there. But Cool Ranch Doritos apparently is all around my social media. That's all I gotta say. For those of you guys that are in the know, you know. For those of you that aren't, hey, just take it as literally a Cool Ranch Doritos. For those of you that know, I was surprised today because I started seeing stuff pops up. La Toxica. Literally, I started seeing like their name and stuff pop up, and I was like, wait a minute. That's all I gotta say, dude.
吉友のケーキ女の子は好きだろ彼女んちケーキ屋だよこういうのは気持ちだよ
来たーいらっしゃいお土産持ってきたありがとうどう隊長ピンピンだよ単なる検査入院だもん
俺に会えなくて寂しかった
寂しかったよ
Also, yeah, in case you guys didn't know, real quick, my tweet did show up on Connor's stream. Hi, Connor. I hope you're doing well. In case I ever show back up on your stream.
短期間に2回も検査入院はこの前もしたよね
この前まあいっかってやってないけんさ一応頭だし今回は静養も兼ねて時間をかけてね
So if you want to talk about masking, right, you're in a hospital bed. You've literally just, like, you're in a hospital bed and you've fallen down and whatnot. For me, this feels like she's masking to try and leave a memory of happiness and good time for her friends. Like she's trying to imprint in his mind and in her friends' minds the happy moments of her because we've not seen her sick. And this is something that I'm like, we've seen aspects, even as the viewer, we've seen aspects of her, like, you know, like, oh, you know, she might be struggling or whatever. But we have not seen her truly suffer. Why are we getting this picture, this memory, this whatever? I legit think that this is a mask that she's putting on. Not really, and masks aren't bad. We all mask in every way, shape, or form. But it's like she's trying to go ahead and leave a happy memory for those around her. And she's trying to go ahead and, like, you know, I don't trust her. No, like, I trust her. Don't get me wrong. I just wonder how much she's suffering underneath. And I wonder if she's doing this because she's running out of time. And if, like, the big thing is just being okay with saying goodbye. And are you okay with saying goodbye? Have you practiced saying goodbye? If you're over 18, hey, congratulations. You've now lived past 75, what was it, like 90% of adulthood life for your parents. If you're over 18 and you spent that time with them, are you ready at some point in time to say goodbye to them, to loved ones, to family members, to siblings? Time goes by quick. Are you okay with situations like that? Are you adoring the time that you have with them? Or are you just letting it fly by where sometimes they annoy you and they're just there, whatever? I'm going in deep with these. I'm throwing this in deep, and I know for some people it might be a little too much, right? But I'm imagining that these are questions that go, like, you know, she's coming up with, like, do I have to prep? Am I okay? And if I'm not okay, how do I prepare to say goodbye? If I am okay, how can I mask some of the pain? And it's, ooh, this is, yeah, sorry guys, sorry.
どう隊長ピンピンだよ単なる検査入院だもん
俺に会えなくて寂しかった
寂しかったよ
Spiffy. Oh.
短期間に2回も検査入院はこの前もしたよね
この前まあいっかってやってないけんさ一応頭だし今回は静養も兼ねて時間をかけてね今いやらしい目で弛緩したでしょところ構わず浴場して病人よ病人だからかしてない浴場してない俺は浴場した
Bruh.
でもびっくりしたよ来ないと思ったら入院してるんだ
Fucking Rudy moment. My dude, what a Paul. Are you giving into your desires? No. Yeah, I did. Hey, yo.
ふらついて頭ぶつけたら、うわ血がドバーッと出るんだもん。ドバーッとよ、ドバーッと。私ドン引き。お父さんたちが取り乱しちゃって病院直行で現在に至る。あ、私一軸タルト。もともと疲れやすいんだけど。
してるんだもん。
私だってびっくりしたよ。ふらついて頭ぶつけたら。
Does she have an incurable disease or is it cancer? My mind's immediately going to like an extreme. Sorry. Sometimes like our minds really do wander into the like deep end here because of all the tests, because of the constant references to the hospitals and stuff. And if they're stumbling, maybe not controlling themselves, they might have dizziness, they might have dizzy spells, they might have 101 other aspects out there. Nah, she just tripped. Nothing more, nothing less. She just tripped. Right. Oof. Oof. She just needs milk. I'm just curious because for me it's terrifying me a little bit.
お父さんたちが取り乱しちゃって病院直行で現在に至る。あ、私一軸タルト。もともと疲れやすいんだけど、最近はエネルギー使うことが多かったから頑張りすぎちゃった。はっ。
Are you sure you're not pushing yourself too hard?
本も持ってきた。入院生活暇でしょ。
おお、これ図書館の本？無駄で持ってきたの？
音楽関係のやつもあるよ。
こんなにたくさんあってもしょうがないじゃない。
なんだよ。
だってかおちゃん2学期には学校に来れるんだよね。うん、もちろんだよ。
気のせいだ。今の返答あらかじめ用意してたみたいだなんて。
じゃあね、かおりちゃん、夢の中で会おうね。
うるさい。バイバーイ。バイバーイ。
Must have. Ooh.
こんなに読む時間ないよ。
She's been masking.
お友達帰った？
Oh no.
じゃあいい？
Bro, is all that for her? Holy
先日
shit.
の続きお願いします。
Please resume the IV drip. She must really care about them and the image that she's trying to leave behind. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I feel like we're approaching a steep hill. We all know it. Look, she's even sweating. She's tired. This hurts. It hurts because people can literally get like, yeah. It can hurt in so many layers here, especially if you've ever had a loved one just quickly start getting sick like that. Passy sucker, oof. But it's also the imagery of ourselves in this grand scale of things, right? So, for example, how do I bring this up? Because I just, oh, like that. Wow, I'm glad I still had this from yesterday. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. I'll bring this right up. Sure, you guys have seen this. You guys must have seen this somewhere before. For Kaori, at this moment, who is she? Ladies and gentlemen. If we were to go through the archetypes here, who is Kaori? If you guys were to classify yourself in this giant thing, who are you? Are you trying to leave a mark? Are you trying to connect with others? Are you trying to provide a structure? Are you trying to go through a spiritual journey? Where are you? Yeah, this is just a Jungian archetypes. I'm not a big fan of Jungian psychology in the most part, but yeah. Are you a hero? And if you are a hero, why? Masters, oh god. No, but realistically speaking, in one of the biggest aspects that we're seeing is even with her blue clothing and everything. Are we seeing someone who's trying to go ahead and be the everyman or the artist with innovation? Is she trying to provide structure for herself or for others? Where is she going through all of this and why, right? Boom, you have another thing. Young, young in the field. I think only people who like to speak in riddles for the most part really stick into young because they're like young, like the MBTI, the Myers-Briggs test. You should really go into that. It's like no, Myers-Briggs doesn't really solve anything, or young. It's like that's not really what a good therapist will do. It's like they'll bring this up as reference points for you to be able to understand yourself. Good therapist is going to bring up Erickson. Good therapist is going to bring up Piaget. A good therapist is going to bring up all of these other different intervention theories or intervention methods for you to be able to understand yourself. For example, right now we have an individual who should be going with who am I going and where am I going? She should be in the social relationship / identity stage, right? Then tell me this. Why is she down here? Why is she down here, ladies and gentlemen? Will I provide something of real value and have I lived a full life? Why is she in generation versus stagnation and identity versus despair? She's secretly old. Bruh. So, for example, what I mean by this is, it says, adults need to create or nurture things that will outlast them, often by having children or creative of creating a positive change that benefits other people. Yeah. Or like the older adults need to look back on life and feel a sense of fulfillment. Why is she speedrunning this? And this is exactly where I'm kind of scared, dude. Because right now, what I'm looking at is all of these questions. It's like, nope, not applicable. And we come down here, and this is where she's at. More like a philosopher than a psychologist. Young is interesting, and I like. There's certain things I disagree with in his whole like general perspectives, and there's been like addendums added when it was like when considering cultural identities, because there were some cultures that never really applied to the whole archetypal philosophy that have been addended into it, which I'm like, okay. But it's the same things that happened overall through time, which is, for example, even when it comes to like, Ekman, right? Paul Ekman. There's been controversies on him. There's been controversies on 101 Psychologists. Healthful, dude. I'm not gonna lie. The amount of times, Lena, hello. The amount of times I've had someone come into my office, health, and be like, "Yeah, well, in the MBTI, I come out as this person." I'm like, and I wanted that because why did you feel the need to come into a therapy office and bring up your MBTI score? What does that mean for you? Genuinely, what did you like? Did you self-administer this, or did a psychologist administer this? And if they did, why are they wasting time on something like that instead of an actual test? Dude, there's so many people that think that the MBTI score means the world to them, or their Jungian archetype is what defines them. And it's like, no, we're malleable individuals, and we're able to go ahead and meet and fit the needs of like those things that happen around us. But yeah, interesting things. Also, hi Lena, hope you're doing well.
はい。点滴の続きお願いします。おって何よ。先輩からメール。今日お祭り行こうって。先輩って斉藤先輩？まだ別れてなかったの？当たり前じゃん。なんでって嫌いになったわけじゃないし。じゃあ好き？そりゃあ憧れてた先輩だし。じゃあ
Do you like him, or do you like the idea of him? Bro, I feel bad for her boyfriend. I'm not gonna lie. She already had a backup plan. Oh, dude, this. Oh. Like, genuinely, are you with him just because you don't want to be alone? And is that why you're like being rather jealous whenever, they're together and stuff? Like, he knew what he was. Even if you know what you're getting into, though, that's really sucks, dude. Like, I'm gonna go ahead and throw that out there to you guys. When you're with someone, are you with someone because you truly like, and with everyone that you've been with? Let's be real for a second, chat, and YouTube as well. Are you with the people that you're with because they truly meet every expectation or standard that you set, or is sometimes you lower your standards because you don't want to be alone? Because you don't want to be lonely. They might not meet all of your qualifications, but you're like, I don't want to be alone. This seems like an interesting little thing. Doesn't even have to be romantic. Can be a friendship. Previously, oh, Lena, well, I'm glad that you're doing a little bit better. Yeah, it's not the end all be all that it claims to be. Exactly, health. I mean, I'm here because you've exceeded my expectations as a Twitch streamer. Oh, well, thank you, Masters. But aside from that, specifically when it comes to, like, you know, relationships, no, impossible. No one meets every qualification. Some people do, Spiffy. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. Of course, is there going to be difficulties and drops and stuff? Yeah, absolutely. If I waited for all of my standards, I'd be alone for the rest of my life. Oh, hey, Roth. But still, like, how much do you lower your expectation to your standards for someone? And with that, have you ever gotten with someone because you did not want to be alone? Yellow, it's actually possible. It just takes a lot of like searching, right? And not settling, and can be, you can be seen as a really, really evil, not really evil, but like a toxic individual at times. And at the same time, I don't think that's healthy. I'm gonna be straight up with you. I think people should date around and find what they like and whatnot. Some type of compromise needed. No, it's not a bad thing at all. But that's what I'm asking. Like, have you ever just want, like, for example, have you ever been with a group of friends just because you didn't want to feel alone, and even though you knew that they weren't necessarily the best fit for you?
有馬くんは
椿
なんで今コウヘイの名前が出てくんのよバカじゃないのコウセイはちっちゃい頃から何するにも一緒で異性っていうより弟って感じだよ
Don't brother zone him when you want him. Don't brother zone him. Yo, are you lying to us or are you lying to yourself? My dude played a piece of music. My dude was literally like, you know, like going fucking hard on the piano, and you're like, and then you saw around and you saw that he wasn't playing for you. He was playing for the girl next to you. Like, you don't brother Zona. Oh, dude, her friend is on her way to become a therapist. You're not wrong, YOLO. You're not wrong. But still, like, fuck, dude. Imagine you are. Hey, yo. Hey, yo. Imagine you are the piano. Wait, hold on.
また弟あんたは弟って呪文を唱えて暗示をかけてるのそうしないと怖いんだ今の居心地のいい関係が壊れてしまうから
Oof. She's being a straight up therapist. That confrontation moment right there, it's like, it's beautiful. I've only ever been in love twice and have had no major relationships because of it. I don't think less of people who like to date lots of people, but if you're wrong dating anyone unless I'm really into them. And that's interesting though, because at least for yourself, what stops you from dating others? Like, what makes you want to make sure that you're really into someone before you date them? How would you not know that you're really into someone if you don't at least see if there's some similar interest without being friends first? I'm throwing questions your way, like Health Much. No, not being way, but just in a way of trying to go ahead and get you to start introspecting a little bit. But the way that she did this confrontational moments, right? Like, it's a rupture and repair process, and sometimes the confrontational moments are clear and beautiful. You know, where, for example, have you ever flirted with a friend, ladies and gentlemen, or coworker, whatever, knowing full well that the flirtation has maybe gone on a little too far, and then boom, they like back out or you back out because you're like, whoa, wait a minute, where the fuck is this going? Like, is this good? Is this bad? Like, or maybe it was like accidental flirting, and you're like, wait a minute, I didn't mean it like that. Like, wait. The longer you let that go on, the more it hurts, and the more that it makes you want to go ahead and create distance if you guys aren't able to go ahead and communicate things properly. A huge chemistry is in the form of powerful friendship tends to be a deciding factor, and that has only happened twice. So again, health, right? Chemistry, but through dating, you're not necessarily saying that they're your partner, right? You're trying to see if maybe they'll even be friends with you or friendship potential through that. And that's a big thing. I'm gonna ask you, right? Which is, when you go on a date, are you going on the date thinking that you're already like gonna be together, that this is someone that you have to invest in, or are you going on a date trying to say, hey, you know what? Let's see if there's any similarities or any chemistry there. Because I'll be honest, there's been some dates that like completely have blown me away. There's been others that like I've been a little scared, right? I had an instance where I went on a date and I was like, oh man, this is gonna suck. Like there's nothing we can relate on or whatever. Next thing you know, this girl's talking to me about like Warhammer 40K, and then she brings up the concepts of like, oh, you know what I really like is like going in deep about like different psychological concepts, and she just started going in like 110 miles on that. And I was like, hey yo, and then she's like, hey, so I'm doing some martial arts stuff, like, you know, if you're ever down, like you want to come and like, you know, spar and shit. And I'm like, where you fall from? Like what? Like, there's been some dates that have just blown me away. This has just been from communication aspects, right? Smithy, too many dates have. Well, my thing is a date, like especially if you're going on a date, you should never make it an interview, right? You have to keep it lighthearted and fun and whatnot, but you should not be like, so tell me about your job. Wow, you work at your job? Wow, how much do you make a year? Oh, that is a lot or little. You know, like you should not you should not be having a conversation tree that looks like an NPC dialogue thing, right? You should literally be like, for example, I love to throw random ass questions their way, which is, do you think that 4 lions could fit in a 2 foot tall door? Just to get them fucking thinking and outside of their thinking zone, right? Because a lot of us get locked into the immediacy that is trying to figure out the other person, when the biggest thing that we're trying to go ahead and figure out is, do we have chemistry? Can we go ahead and laugh? For example, I this is a testing shit that I do, right? Out of a good set up good communication standards and whatnot, right? But it's the as like expectation, yeah. It's the expectation of going ahead and being like, can you, for example, take a joke and run with it, or are you very stiff? This is immediately telling me like how to proceed, right? And if you're very stiff, right, like, okay, well then let's go to proceed that way, because I clearly now know that like going down like an improvisation route, like what not may not be your forte. You may be nervous, whatever, and that might be like an immediate no. Like, it's called pinging, guys. I can fix in my mouth. Okay, okay. We're gonna try and stay away from bodily fluid or bodily anything. For the first question, you should try and exert it out. But you should also mimic their body language and be open with them. And by this, I don't mean it in a manipulative sense, but like when you mimic a person's body language, they feel like they've known you for five ever, and it is very, very impactful if done correctly. If not overly done, you know. That's a small lion. Well, I mean, another question that I had was who, like, for example, I had someone that was like, dated someone that was like, oh yeah, I'm really into Pokemon. And so I asked him, who was the first Pokemon? I was like, hey, what's up? How you doing? So I have a question for you. Like, legit fucking question. Who is the first Pokemon? Is it Bulbasaur? Is it Arceus? Is it Rhydon? Because technically Rhydon was first put into the game, and so you ask something that is like questions or jokes or not something that's not just like NPC dialogue tree, but it's Mew. Is it Mew? Poliwag? Lena. But that's a joke. Is you should be open and honest with situations like that. So, do the words man god mean do the words Orsted mean anything to you? Does Satella mean anything to you? Just start asking random things. Oh man, you guys are something else. I think the worst thing that she has done right here, and the reason why she's doing this, is because she literally wants to go ahead and put up a barrier for protection, which we often do. We often downplay scenarios that we know hurts us because we don't want to go in and feel that emotion, that pain right there and then. Sometimes we wear our trauma as armor because it protects us. And right now she's using the title of sibling as her armor to protect her from actually feeling what she needs to feel. She needs to cry. She needs to understand that like she might be the right person at the wrong time. And they might be the right person at the wrong time because she chose it to be. Not because of his actions, but because she chose it to be. She can't fix him. She can't be the person that magically fixes him. There has to be someone else that does that. And maybe afterwards when he's healthy, he might be the right person for her. But at this point in time, she is the right person at the wrong time, and that's my belief structure through this. Where she's putting on all these labels to try and defend and deflect and do all of these things, and it's like, no. Let's talk about it. Let's analyze it just a little bit. Mateo, you will be remembered.
そんなんじゃないって言ってんじゃん。
攻め方間違えた。
何よ。
有馬くんは怖くても踏み出したわよ。いつか取り返しがつかなくなるんだからな。
She ain't wrong. Hey, yo, she looks great.
よく似合ってる。すごい可愛いよ。
いいですよ、気を使わなくったって。孫にも衣装ってね。
ほら見ろ、柏木。後世はこんなこと言ってくれない。私のことなんて口うるさい姉ちゃんぐらいにしか思う。
You don't know that! You do not know that! That's why you ask! That's why you say something! You are putting literal words in his mouth! Like, she's literally saying, oh yeah, she just sees me. Just speak how you feel! You're a big girl! Literally ask, hey, like, I feel this way about you. Do you feel that way about me? If you don't, that's A-okay. Like, ask! Ask! Oh, God. Oh, God. Oof. Oof. Like, and then when he goes in for a kiss, and let's say that, like, he sees the kiss happen. Guess what? You just solidified your role, bro. You literally just solidified your role. Like, if he was there. If he was there.
立ってないで座ったら。
あ、うん。あ、やっぱり立ってる。
落ち着かないのね。挙動不審。
病院が苦手なんだ。大丈夫だよね。
No.
検査は嘘じゃないよね。
Stop.
もう学校に来ないなんて言わないよね。またいつもみたいに悪態つくよね。音楽準備室で話せるよね。君は
さっきまで渡くんが来てたんだ。
Stop. Stop.
渡り。
知らなかった。君ガラコン一人で弾いたんだって。渡くんから聞いたよ。
あ、うん。伴奏者
がソロでなんてありえないよね。どんだけ出たがりなんだよ。バイオリンのガラコンなのに意味わかんない。笑かさないでよ。バカなの。お腹痛い。
誰のせいだよ。
どうして？辞退してもみんな当然だって思うよ。
初めは君がバカにされたから。でもね、途中から音が消えて、母さんの言葉や仕草や匂い、母さんとの思い出が音になって空に舞い上がってた。
そう。君はどうしたって表現者なんだね。有馬昴生君。
ああ、やっぱり。
No.
あの選曲は僕のための選曲だったんだ。
No.
愛の悲しみ。この曲は母さんを思い出させる。柔軟剤の匂い、寝ぼけ眼に聞こえるピアノ、控えめな子守歌、消毒液の匂い、響く足音、 白く濁ったリノリウムの床。君と
If this is the dad, where the fuck is he? I hate to ask this, but
重なる。
いらっしゃい。
you're telling me that the dad saw all this abuse and shit happening, never once cared to check in and be like, hey, son, are you winning? How you doing, son? How's your mom treating you? Like, you remind, like, correct me if I'm wrong, right? Real quick, correct me if I'm wrong. I think he went out for milk. Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. Is the dad in this area still, or did he leave, like, to, like, some other place? Like, typical dad behavior. Overseas, okay.
平気だよね。
また一緒に弾きたかったな。
大丈夫だよね。検査は嘘じゃないよね。もう学校に来ないなんて言わないよね。また会えるよね。2回目だ。君が僕の名前を呼んだの。君は母さんみたいに
No, dude. Don't do this to
いなくなら
yourself.
ないよね。
Don't do this to yourself, dude. Literally putting in these roles and expectations on her, like, mental health, that's a myth. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. I gotta blow my nose. Oh, man. All right, better. Gotta go. Sounds good. Sí, me gusta. Gracias, gracias. Mucho contento. Pues mira lo que agarré hace rato. Me llegó el primer nabo aquí. El primer capítulo. A ver cómo me va. Buenas noches. But no, with that being said, specifically what I want to touch on is this being done out of anxiety? Is this being done out of pain? Or is this just being done out of a way for him to not like relive this trauma? Or is it all of the above? My man is hurt. My man is anxious. My man is literally going through a wild stage of emotions. And going through something like this again, I think us going through it once in our life, maybe even twice in our lives when we lose our parents, is already huge. Now imagine someone coming in and making such a genuine impact in your life, and then having to go through that. Yikes. Yikes. The impact she's had is...
僕野球してないよ。なんで？
ピアノ弾く人も足腰大事。多分。多分って言った。ちっちゃい足跡。
違うよ。空にの足がでかいだけだ。
なんだと？乙女に向かって。
So small.
昴生、王子公園行こうよ。
行きたいけど。
How much of the
僕ピ
follow
アノ
up
レッスンがあるから。
せっかく虹色に輝く泥団子見せてやろうと思ったのに、我ながらいい出来だわ。傑作だわ。そうだ、昴生にも作ってやろう。昴生、キャッチボールやろう。進化覚えたんだ。
昴生君はピアニストになるんだから忙しいのよ。お手手怪我したらどうするの？
ゴシゴシ
ごめん。
ゴシゴシゴシゴシ。
So the abuse already started happening. Fuck. Dude. In case you guys are wondering, almost an immediate sign, especially for little kiddos and stuff, is when they start wearing long sleeved shirts in summer. When they start, yeah. The moment it's summertime and he's wearing long sleeve shirts and long sleeve pants, they'll start going ahead and covering up, try and cover up whatever exposed skin that they do have. What's up? Join the resistance. How you doing, man? This show is very powerful. It hurts, man. This shows a wild journey of pain and everything. It's amazing so far. But the reason why I say this is I teach littles, right? I do counseling for like littles in group. And one day, this was a while ago, a little showed up with a giant shirt like this, an oversized shirt, long sleeves when it's super duper fucking hot. And nobody to touch them and them just covering to themselves. They're like, all right, guys, like, we're going to go ahead and do our art thing, right? Doing his art, and it was very minimal, very, like, for example, if I were to tell them, oh, yeah, why don't you go ahead and draw your family? Art in children, I think for children, they can very much tell what they're feeling and whatnot through art, through their art. This is why play therapy is huge, especially in a younger age. He drew his house with no windows, no doors. Literally, he drew his house with no windows and no doors. His family that he did draw on the outside, mom, dad, sister, were normal. Mom was a giant spider that he had drawn on the side, right? And uncle was essentially like had multiple hands, if you want to put it that way. I want to take you guys into that perspective real quick. What the fuck? The reason why this was done is because there was abuse happening, right? Without any HIPAA violations or anything like that. There was abuse happening where, you know, Uncle was causing SA, trigger warning. Oh, absolutely, Yellow Sage. A whole report is done. A whole report is done, SA was happening at the house, and abuse was happening at the house. By the individuals that he went and highlighted. That he went and drew them differently. And he felt like his house was a prison. And that's exactly what he drew. He drew a house with no windows, with no doors, right? He drew who the monsters were. Like, it's... Yeah, once you start taking into perspective, and even as adults, the way that we draw. For example, if I were to tell you, draw yourself. Draw what you want to be, whatnot. Like, and by that I don't mean like get stuck on the things. Go free, go as wild. And if you do get stuck, why do you get stuck? Are you getting stuck on the perfection aspect that this doesn't look like me? I can't get the things drawn by like right. Why? Get watercolor. Try something out. And if you do use watercolor, how is it to not have control over that watercolor? A lot of why? Lou, you could draw as a kid and you didn't care. Why is it that now as an adult or as a teenager or whatever, all of a sudden we start criticizing ourselves? Kyle's, my love, how are you doing? I hope you're doing okay after working with the little one. I'm sure. I know, guys. Give a huge shout out to Kyle's. I know. Shit, I got caught in the trap, yeah? How do penguins distinguish abuse versus just a kid's perception? Well, even if it's a kid's perception, you start noticing sign bruises. You start noticing isolation tactics. A lot of big social cues that kids start to do. For me, instantly, I pick up on those cues and I'm like, all right, why don't we go ahead and have a seat? I make a report because I have to. I'm a mandated reporter. But in a situation like that, and it's not just been that, it's been other cases where, for example, I've had grown men, grown women, and whatnot. And I'm gonna take you guys I'll ask this: how many of you felt like you didn't have a childhood, or felt like your childhood was rushed, or you maybe even suffered some sort of childhood abuse? During the resistance, you start an investigation, right? I.e., people go and investigate nonetheless. As long as there's suspicion, reasonable suspicion, not just from the drawings, but quite literally from the therapeutic aspects, that's when an investigation is done. No, thanks so much for the lurk. I remember my side criticizing my drawing because I had no sun on the sky, but the sun is supposed to be on your back when you see on rainbow. That is true. Deep dive. Yeah. It's not just an immediate quick jump into it because no. I had 1/3 of a childhood. How was your childhood, ladies and gentlemen? I'm gonna keep asking until I get a response. Did you guys have an actual childhood? Did you guys have was there abuse in it? What was there moments where you disassociate and don't remember? Were there moments where you feel like maybe you got forced to grow up too quickly? And if so, if you had to grow up too quickly, if you had to go ahead and become an adult and take on responsibilities, I did not have one really. Then when was the last time that you talked to your child self? When was the last time that you forgave yourself for literally things that were not in your control? When was the last time that you said, hey, you know what? Like, looking back, if I could talk to my child self, this is what I would tell them. I would tell them, hey, you know what? Like, things get better. You're not going to be alone. You know. When was the last time you wrote a letter to yourself, to your past self, if that? Have you ever taken the time to literally, like, heal from that? Because that's trauma in of itself. The last time we talked, and oh, Kyles, you're wonderful. I know what you're talking about. No, but thank you for always being vulnerable and awesome. So, for example, Kraith, I'll ask you guys this. This is your homework. Giving you guys homework thanks to your line, April. I want you guys to write a letter to your childhood self. To whatever version of your childhood self that you remember. I want you to give them advice. I want you to ask them questions. I want you to tell them to, for example, I would tell mine, hey, pressure, like, really taking the time that you have with your friends, enjoy it, make fond memories with them and keep that in close. Don't feel pressured. I'd have so much advice that I would give my younger self, my childhood self. So what advice would you give yourself? Anyway, with that being said, let's go.
ゴシゴシゴシゴシゴシゴシ。有馬くん大会近いから学校お休みしてピアノの練習なんだって。
つりさんはい。
おれれあなたのお家はどこ？私のお家はスイーツなのよ。綺麗な湖水のほとりなのよ。音楽なんて大嫌い。ちゃんと練習してんの？見てないからってサボってんでしょ。
言われなくてもやってるよ。毎日ハノンもチェルニーも。
全然少ない。ショパンもやれ。
いつ寝ればいいんだよ。
リストもやれ。
よくわかんないけど落ち着いて。
わかんない話しないでよね。
Bruh. You can take. You can take 10 minutes of your time a day to learn maybe what he's into a little bit, just to start the conversation rolling, and not just be like, don't talk about things that they don't like. You can take 10 minutes to learn something that your partner or someone that you're interested really, really likes, to understand where they're coming from and not feel left out, not feel jealous about it. Oh, good morning, Mashiro-sama. How are you doing? They're perfect together. Yeah. I mean, oftentimes this is what I hear. I do couples counseling, right? And one of the most recent things that I heard was sort of reversed roles. Like, music theory is awesome. Music theory is great. It makes you understand yourself and, like, music at large. Was like the wife, gamer girl, 110,000%. Loves playing horror games. Loves playing Silent Hill, Resident Evil. She loves playing, like, tactics and, what was she playing? She was playing, she was recommending me a visual novel. Something When They Cry was what she was recommending me to play, right? And, like, she's going off about all of these things, and she's like, man, like, the guy was like, man, he was like, That one, Join the Resistance. Higurashi. Yeah, there you go. And the guy was like, I don't understand how you could keep up to, like, you know, with her pace as to what she's mentioning and stuff like that. I'm just really into football, and like that's pretty much it. Like very bare bone dry, pretty much everything. And I'm like, okay, well, think about it like this. You know how she's gotten to go ahead and learn about your favorite teams? She never really liked football and stuff to begin with, but yet she learned a little bit about your team and what like the basics of play, because she wanted to go ahead and make that, like, make it feel important to you, and as though she was trying in the relationship. Well, when was the last time that you tried in a relationship, and what did that look like? And his face, bro. This guy wanted, like, this guy was just like, oh, oh. And I was like, okay, when it comes to, like, you know, being living together, how do you break up the duties? Oh, well, I just work and I come home. So you're telling me that she works, that she comes home and she does the dishes, she makes dinner, she takes out the trash, that she does all of these things, and you're saying that she's the issue to the relationship? Tell me more. Oh, it's because she always wants to go spend, like, you know, spend Saturday nights together, when it's nights for the boys. And it's like, when was the last time you guys went on a date? And like going through a line of questioning like this really gets people the over reliance. Yes, because and this is something that the conversation came to be, and this is exactly what it's hitting on here, which is, hey, just because you're married to someone doesn't mean that you should stop dating them. And just because you're dating someone does not mean that you should become over reliant or automatically assume the role that they're gonna go ahead and do something all the fucking time. You should keep dating your partner no matter at what stage in the relationship you are, right? And you should make sure that the roles are equal and be checking in with one another in situations like that. That's why it's always interesting to have this revolving door and revolving technique. But overall, it was getting to this exact same point, which is, if you put an ounce of an effort into learning something that she loved, she would feel more appreciated, and vice versa. And I was like, okay. Yeah, not only in romantic relationships. Yeah, absolutely.
なんだかな。
ほっとけよ。
ほっとけないから相談してんでしょ。
俺に触れない女に興味はない。
Bruh.
いっそすがすがしいよ。
Hey, yo, Kraith? Hey, yo, AZ? Hey, yo. I'm kidding. Hey, yo, Masters? Hey, yo, Blade? Hey, I'm just gonna keep throwing all the mods out there. Hey, yo, Lou?
人から違うでしょと言われるとふてくされて意固地になってややこしくなるに決まってるんだから。後世のことに関しては特にね。
同感。嫌だけど。でも私は椿には笑っててほしい。
ボロボロになろうとなんだろうと椿が自分で気づくしかねえよ。
Right.
そばにいる男は弟なんかじゃないってこと。
渡先輩、ミニゲーム始めますよ。
おージュースサンキュー。
サンキュー。でもそれってさ、大抵手遅れになってから気づくもんだよね。
Bro, she's a real friend. I ain't gonna lie. Get yourself a friend like this who's open to go ahead and who's still like a brother, who's able to go ahead and call you out on your bullshit from time to time, who's able to go ahead and like try and find out what, yeah, find a friend, whether online or in person, that is open to having dialogue and discussion like this.
おい、有馬。
はい。
そろそろ決めたか？うちのクラスでお前だけだぞ。まだなの。志望校だよ。進路。
進路。思ったんです。変なピアニストになりたいなって。
考えるのもいいが早めにな。
はい。進路。将来。僕は何者になりたいんだろ
う。砂浜に落としちゃって泣き止まないから私のアイスバーあげたんです。そしたらミル
No, no. Oh, this has happened to me once. The memories are coming back. No. I swear he's just a friend. But I remember when we were little, you know, like we would cross the street and he would always trip and fall and it was hilarious. Oh, but I remember when we were younger, like we would go to the theater together and he would hold my hand during the scary movies. Oh, but I remember, and it's like, but we're in a date, like, you know, right now, like, okay, like, I want to know more about you, not about your memories with this person, like, oof, oof. If this has happened to you, my friends, my little fellow soldiers here, I'm sorry. I feel that, brother. Oh.
すみません。また私。
いいよ。楽しいよ、有馬くんの話。やっちった家がお隣さんだから思い出が一緒だもんね。弟みたいなもんだな。違います。私は後世のおもりじゃありません。
Well, then what is he?
じゃあ、何
Yeah, yeah.
家が隣同士。私よりちっちゃくて、早くにお母さんを亡くして、ほっとけない。元気になって欲しかった男の子。
バカじゃないの。そういう問題は心を使うもんよ。
もう何よ。こないだからわけわかんないことばっか。
あんたはこの前斉藤先輩のこと嫌いじゃないって言ってたけどさ、好きと嫌いじゃないの間には何億光年もの距離があるのよ。
好き嫌いじゃない。
Their friends with benefits.
あんたが素直になって自覚しないと、そのうち傷つく人が出るよ。
俺のこと嫌いか？
そんなこと憧れてた先輩だし。
じゃあ好き？
But there's a difference between having a crush on someone and truly liking someone. I can have a crush on Kraith, but truly like Lena. There is a difference in liking someone and having a crush on someone and liking someone. I can be like, oh, Masters is my boo thing, you know? Like, oh, I have such a big crush on Masters. But whenever AZ's around, I'm like, oh, man, I love AZ. AZ is my, like, whatever, right? Would be more than admire than crush. Liking is, yeah, it's something deeper. Exactly. And that's the purpose of it. And this is why I find language to be powerful, right? Like, even the small aspects of things, like why we choose what language, for example, what language that we talk in, right? And I'm really curious about this, right? For those of you guys that are bilingual or trilingual or polyglots out there, how are you in every language that you speak? There's studies being done about this specifically due to the psyches of the languages and its effects on the brain, which is, there are some words that mean more than others, right? Like, for example, if you, and by this I mean, for some people, for example, if I say te amo, for me it's stronger than I love you. And it ranks, like, you know, just based on what I'm more comfortable with, right? Easy as my mom. But that's what I'm getting at, is for you, if you're bilingual, trilingual, whatever, are there certain words that carry a more of a meaning in a certain language than others? And why?
私は誰が好き？好き嫌いじゃない。好き嫌いじゃない。好き嫌いじゃない。好き嫌いじゃない。好き嫌いじゃない。好き嫌いじゃない。好き。
Hey, yo, where did it stop?
大丈夫か？怪我か病気か食当たりか拾い食いするから柏木さんから電話があって椿が大変だってああ
嫌いじゃない。
I want to talk about this scene particularly.
嫌いじゃない。好き。
Literally a good representation of what time is, right? Like, she's going through this cyclical nature of time probably asked yourself a lot of these questions going back and forth, or even feeling a lot of these emotions, maybe even unconsciously. We all do this, right? Which is especially when we're falling for someone and maybe we're not sure, whatever. We might be processing things throughout the days and feels ups and like ups and downs, and feel like we're attaching ourselves and not, or feel scared to take that plunge or not. We find ourselves in different aspects throughout like our lives, trying to go out and understand the meaning of what we're feeling, right? Without truly being there in the moment. But sometimes I think actions speak louder than words when it comes to love. And it doesn't even have to be a romantic type of love, because there's many stages of love. But genuinely, someone coming like running towards you because they heard you were sick, because they heard whatever. For me, that the oof, oof. And look at what word she stops on too. The next one was yeah. Oof.
大丈夫か？怪我か病気か食当たりか拾い食いするから。柏木さんから電話があって椿が大変だって。はあ、騙された。柏木さんがいたずらするなんて。あの人も人の子だったんだ。
柏木が言うと変な迫力があるよね。
笑い事じゃないよ。
Also, why is it that with him she's able to laugh and smile, and with the other dude she's not? Oof, oof, oof. With my boy over here, she's able to go ahead and be her true authentic self, and with her crush she has to be the idealized version that she believes her crush wants her to be. I wish I had a little fucking MLG horn just to like press it every single time it's like a fucking red flag.
信じて走り回ったんだから。すごい汗かいちゃった。
アイスバー食べたい。
Oh, dude.
ありがとうございました。
Lawson. Oh
またミ
man.
ルク味？
これが好きなの。月が綺麗だ。
Red flag. Never mention the moon in anime. Red flag. Oh no. Don't make me hurt. No, not this song, dude. This hurts my... Oh. This brings me up memories of La Toxica. No. Dvorak. No.
隣の家から嫌ってほど聞こえてくるからね。
そんなに弾いてない。
いつもの会話、聞こえてきたよ。じゃれ合うような冗談。私より大きい
Not so
男
little
の子
anymore.
の足跡だ。
Oh god, crazy. This song is called, I think it's Dvorak's Fifth Symphony to a New World. And in a big way, I think the impact of this piece is also her breaking a boundary into this new world that she's discovering. He's no longer a little kid. He's no longer a boy. He's a man. And he ain't your little brother. He's someone that's been there for you through like thick and thin, just as much as you've been there for him. How did you recognize it? The song? I'll tell you guys why. I think it's Dvorak, or is it Claire the Loon? Is it Claire the Loon or is it Dvorak? I think it's dun, 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 dun. Oh, it's Claire the Loon. Oh shit, my bad. I thought it was Dvorak's Fifth Symphony. Claire the Loon. It's one or the other, dude. Pretty sure it is. Yeah. So it's not just the Christmas song, right? Which is like essentially like La Luna. What are we witnessing in a scenario like this, right? The bus. Alex is the capital B. The pussy. I thought it was the New World. That's why I was like, oh no. But if it's Claire the Loon, this even makes it more impactful, which is, what are we witnessing in this full moon, boys? What are we witnessing?
So?
変だな。不意に目が合うと心臓がびっくりする。きっと夏が終わるせいだ。なんかすぐわかる。目が輝くようになった。ピカーって車のライトみたいに。特にピアノを弾いているとき、優しさや届けたいって思いが溢れ出てた。自分はここにいるんだって叫んでるみたい。そういったものを届けられるピアニストなんだね、後世は。君はどうしたって表現者なんだね。
椿。僕、音楽科のある高校に進むよ。
音楽科？この辺にあったっけ？
だから家を出るよ。週2ぐらい通うって言ってたし、もちろん受かるか微妙だけど、ブランクあるから。
あれ
？Girl, you're missing. My dude just came in and fucking dropped the hammer. He's leaving, and you run. Fight or flight kicks in, and the first thing you do is you're like, nope, this ain't happening. He did not just tell me he's gonna leave me and goes, I forgot my milk. You know, like, what? Oh no.
まただ。音楽が後世を遠くに連れて行く。バカ後世。どこにでも行っちゃえ。バカ後世。
Oh, dude.
家が隣同士。私よりちっちゃくて。
Yeah, that's your attachment,
家族のお
dude.
母さんを亡くしてほっとけない。元気になってほしい男の子。このままずっと当たり前にそばにいると思ってた男の子。ずっとそばにいてほしい男の子。
椿。
I can't, dude. I'm not gonna cry, not today, boy. Get back in there. Get back in there.
私バカだな。ゴシゴシゴシゴシ。びっくりするかな、昴生。
I think Jose surprised you. Oh, dude. Oh, dude. And this is why I will always state, this is such a powerful episode. I'm not even gonna lie, dude. I'm not even gonna lie. This is such a bad. I didn't think I was gonna start tearing up. Don't take people for granted, guys. I swear. Don't take people for granted. Because at the end of the day, as I said, time is always moving on, and if we take into consideration the sociological imagination, hey, people are advancing and people are changing is constant. So are you gonna take that first move, or are you gonna allow someone to take that first move for you? And that's fuck, dude. Fuck, like, this hurts in so many like layers. And por qué? AZ, why you introduced the show? AZ, why you hurt us like this? Ladies and gentlemen, I really want to go into the next episode. I'm not even going to lie, but I'm going to hold it. I'm going to wait to see if it gets voted on, because clearly we're making a lot of progress here, and we only have like 8 episodes left of Your Lie in April here, considering we've like masterpieced our way through this shit. But ladies and gentlemen, with all of these questions that are being asked, I do got to throw this out there to you guys. Have you ever had, I guess, a friendship that really like rocked your boat, that really took you by surprise, that you didn't think you were going to be friends, but you ended up being friends? And if so, how was that for you? Or how was your first time truly finding a partner that meant something for you? There's a lot of amazing connections that we make that go underappreciated. And I'm just going to go ahead and take that time to go ahead and like throw it out to you guys, which is, do you feel like you are enough? And do you feel like you are taking things for granted in the here and now?